I've never been fond of or trusted in chance encounters between a man and a woman orchestrated by the dishonest tales of a third party. To me, love can only blossom under specific circumstances, through prolonged contact and a deep understanding of one another. What is there to love in fleeting moments at a cafe or a few rendezvous spots? Are we in love with the mere presence of someone by our side? That hardly resembles the love people speak of, the kind that cherishes every facet of another's soul. May softened after the scorching, blistering heat of early summer. Mornings dawned with delicate rays of sunlight, veiled by somber gray clouds, silent and still. I buried myself in part-time work to quiet the restlessness, to stop ruminating over things like friends, change, the future, or the prospect of a stable job like so many soon-to-graduate students. It was a void, an unsettling, drifting emptiness. A late-night argument with my best friend left my eyes swollen from crying, and I wept again in every idle moment, consumed by self-pity and disappointment. Disappointment, perhaps, from expecting too much, expecting someone to truly understand me, to see through to my very core, when sometimes even I couldn't manage that. He approached me without eagerness or excess. His noon messages didn't come with the usual "have you eaten?" or similar pleasantries. His evening texts were a mere 4 words, "Good night, sleep well." And that was it. No consistent schedule, no immediate replies, no probing questions, nothing at all, just indifference. Perhaps it was that very difference, that aloofness, that piqued my curiosity. Amid the chaos of my emotions, I slipped into a sky-blue blouse and a sunlit yellow skirt, gently tied my shoulder-length hair into a neat bun, letting a few stray strands frame my face with effortless charm. A touch of lipstick, a smile, and I went to meet him. It was a date devoid of trust, of hope, of expectations, nothing at all. Just a way to fill an empty, unsteady evening. So I was utterly, truly at ease, free of any hint of nervousness or hesitation. I nibbled on sunflower seeds, sipped yogurt, smiled, asked a few questions, listened, and let the moment unfold. There was something peculiar about him, something that made me lose control of my actions. The most foolish thing I did that day, and I knew it, was sitting up straight, gazing deeply into his eyes, something I rarely did with anyone. That night, and for several nights after, I dreamed of those smiling eyes, deep and brimming with unspoken intentions. I truly believed, in that moment, he wanted to kiss me. The feeling was utterly comfortable, almost exhilarating. I waited for more than a goodnight text when I got home. But his indifference persisted, despite the enthusiasm, the compliments, the warmth, and the charm he showed in person. It all ended there. I clung to my pride as a woman, refusing to text first to a man trying to get to know me, though I glanced at my phone every so often, hoping for a message from him. What was I thinking? How much did I need to know to love this person? Why did I long for a text, a call? Why did I cast him as the second lead in the whirlwind of romantic scenarios I conjured? I knew I was being irrational with my torrent of thoughts and imaginings, but I couldn't stop, nor did I want to. The greatest regret would be not knowing what my heart felt. That date was encapsulated and concluded in dreams. Each time I stirred awake, I laughed at myself, then reached for the soft orange cat, lulling myself back into sweet slumber. Perhaps it was a dizzying rain shower, a sudden downpour in the restless summer, a deluge amid the stifling heat. Someone once told me that we're destined to meet certain people at least twice in life. The earth is round, turn away, and you never know who you'll meet, look back, and you might find no one left by your side. On Children's Day, I took my little nephew to the festive neighborhood streets. Hand in hand, we sang as we walked. I laughed heartily, feeling as small and carefree as he was. After handing the mischievous boy to his grandmother, I returned home to tackle looming deadlines. Still smiling from his antics, I froze when I saw the face that had haunted my dreams. A rush of shock and breathlessness hit me as I saw him standing in a corner, gazing at me with that deep intensity. He held out a bag of ice cream. "Hello, happy June 1st. And then he vanished again. No reply to my thank you text, no further contact, nothing. I felt like I was losing my mind over this man. Was he too confident, or was he just as unpredictable as I was? I held fast to my pride, stubbornly refusing to text or call first. Every time I tried to neatly tuck him away in a corner of my mind, every time I convinced myself that my feelings were just a fleeting infatuation, that we barely knew each other and nothing special could come of it, he reappeared. Out of nowhere. Once, passing by on Wenshi Street, "I just bought a book, this one's for you." Another time, parking at the same lot at the movie theater, holding a bouquet of roses. Always vanishing right after, without explanation. By the 5th time, I'd had enough. I felt like a game, my bewilderment sparking his amusement. I resolved that the next time he appeared with a surprise gift, I'd keep it and demand answers. I planned it meticulously, scripting every scenario, utterly satisfied with my mental rehearsal. But my plans always fell apart at the last moment. He invited me to a small cafe tucked away at the end of an alley. A spiral iron staircase led to the 2nd floor, a pristine space adorned with a monochromatic oil painting and a wooden table with a hidden compartment of dried coffee beans under glass. When I discovered it, I couldn't help but ask the waiter, "Are these real coffee beans?" All my resolve to confront his orchestrated surprises dissolved in the captivating stories he wove. And once again, foolishly, I gazed deeply into those eyes. The moment I did, everything seemed to pause, silent and still. He stopped smiling, stopped talking, leaned slightly toward me, and what I'd sensed at our last meeting came true. A kiss, rich with the scent of milky coffee, light yet profound. A kiss at our 2nd meeting? A kiss when I barely knew who he was? A fleeting kiss on my lips. A dizzying, intoxicating kiss. Do you believe in fairy tales? From ages 3 to 5, every night before bed, my mother read me stories of princes, princesses, love, and life's wonders. At 22, I know I'm too old for such childish beliefs, but somehow, I still believe. She wore a pristine white dress that hugged her petite frame, smiling gently at her best friend's wedding. I was stunned. Gone was the goofy, simple, sun-kissed girl of 15, now transformed into this woman. She'd changed so much, yet her gentle, humorous way of speaking still captivated me as it had before. I watched her quietly, realizing that if I'd been like that checkered shirt guy hovering around her, I'd have only earned her distance. I'd liked her since she was the team leader and I was the youth group mentor, but she was just a girl then, and I wanted to preserve her innocence and charm in our connection. 7 years later, seeing her again, I was truly smitten. I tried to push her out of my thoughts, but I couldn't stop the joy of spotting her on the street, couldn't stop myself from scouring her Facebook or lingering at places I knew she'd be. So I decided I needed a perfect plan to win over my clever Aquarius girl. 2 dates, 4 hours of conversation, 1 kiss. It felt so much like love, certainly not just a fleeting crush. I felt at peace, smiling, and natural around him, with a sense of familiarity, as if someone had understood me deeply for a long time. It was strange. But time is the truest answer to everything, especially when this story has only just begun.